So, Georgia flock camera misuse, and it's been misused in other places as well. Quick question. On your drive this week to work, the grocery store, picking up your kids, how many cameras do you think your car passed? You don't know, do you? Most of us don't. One system a lot of departments use is called flock safety. It's automated cameras that log license plates and used properly is genuinely useful. Stolen vehicles, missing persons, suspect vehicles. It's helped departments solve real crimes. But the same tool they can find a suspect can also map out where an ordinary person's car has been. And that's the problem the moment access gets misused. In Savannah and several other states that we're going to see in just a few minutes, several police employees were fired following an investigation into alleged misuse of the flock system, serious enough to get referred for independent investigation. So let's take a look at this ABC news report. Is it ABC? I think it's ABC. Yeah, ABC news report. Let's see. Here it goes, right here.
A high-tech surveillance camera system used for tracking license plates. The technology has been hit with vandalism, lawsuits, and public protests in recent months, but supporters say it's vital to solving crimes. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin.
Tonight, 6 former Savannah Police Department employees are now under criminal investigation. They were recently fired for allegedly misusing these controversial surveillance cameras made by the company Flock.
Totally honest, I'm disappointed. I'm pissed off about it.
The high-tech AI-powered cameras read license plates and store that data for police departments to use. Over 120,000 now deployed nationwide. But backlash growing amid reports of misuse. Dozens of officers now charged or accused of using the technology inappropriately, including stalking. According to the Washington Post, this North Carolina police officer arrested for allegedly using it to track her boyfriend's ex-wife.
That's what bothers me the most, that the people that use this stuff for personal gain.
Critics also calling these cameras an invasion of privacy. Some are being vandalized in acts of protest. In Texas, this camera cut in half. And in Minnesota, a man posting these videos of himself covering the cameras with tape. But Flock says their cameras help law enforcement stop crimes, and some agree.
They have assisted our officers in solving numerous crimes.
That power on display after the Brown University shooting. The technology helping track down the gunman who went on the run after opening fire, killing 2 students and injuring 9 others.
And Rachel, Flock saying criminal acts like vandalism have no place here, even as people continue to voice their opinions in this ever-growing debate about individual privacy versus public safety. Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all. So while I was looking through trying to find some more information on this, there were some other states as well that that I saw in Atlanta.
Tonight, more Metro Atlanta officers are on the other side of the law. 8 DeKalb County police officers are facing disciplinary action after an audit found they misused Flock license plate reading cameras.
Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Whitty is live now at DeKalb Police Headquarters. So, Mark, you found out how the department brass found out about it.
Yeah, I got wind. Something was up first from one source, then from another. Decided to reach out to the top, and I reached out to DeKalb CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson. We spoke this morning, and within hours, we had confirmation. The story involves the Flock safety system and a flock of DeKalb police officers. DeKalb Police Chief Gregory Patrick confirms 8 DeKalb police officers have been suspended for violating department policy about the use of the Flock automated license plate reader system, which is for tracking vehicles that may be involved in crimes. He says the discipline ranged from 16 to 80 hour suspension, and none of the 8 have been criminally charged. The chief told us internal investigations determined 5 officers used the Flock system to track vehicles without any legitimate law enforcement purpose, for personal reasons. For instance, tracking someone involved in a personal relationship with an officer. But Chief Patrick said 3 of the 8 violations involved searches supported by a legitimate law enforcement purpose, but conducted without following the department's required procedures or.
So they just, like in this instance in Atlanta, he's saying that they just didn't report it correctly when they were using it. So maybe that's why they didn't fire anybody in Atlanta, but there's several other states as well. AP King says you need that privacy. Lil Penny, hey Lil Penny, welcome in. He said Flock is terrible, big brother surveillance. Penny said police in multiple states have been abusing it from jump. Yeah, and that's what I was like. Okay, so when I was trying to find a story for, hometown Rain. You know, I'm in the state of Georgia, so I usually try to find something close to or in my city or close to my city. I was looking and I was like, okay, let me see what's going on with these flock cameras. And then all these other states started popping up. And I was like, whoa, it's not just Georgia, it's everywhere. Everybody is misusing it. I-90, welcome in I-90. I appreciate you being here. So let's listen in some more. And then we're going to look at some other states too that have caught their law enforcement officers misusing the flock.
Documentation requirements.
The system is invaluable as far as assisting officers in investigating crimes, stopping crimes before they happen, actually apprehending criminals and recovering stolen vehicles.
Gary Andura says when he was police chief in Brookhaven and then Chamblee, officers used the flock system to make arrests in major violent crimes.
Every system out there is going to have a few bad apples that are probably going to try to misuse it or whatever. That's very limited. And it seems like most of the departments are trying to take care of any issues that people or their employees that are abusing the system.
An email from DeKalb County Chief Communications Officer Deanna Smith says, since January 1, 2026, the DeKalb County Police Department has used the Flock audit tool to strengthen oversight of access to the Flock Automatic License Plate Reader, ALPR database. The department conducts a comprehensive audit of system usage every 2 weeks to review user activity, identify potential misuse, and ensure compliance with department policy. The email says between January 1, 2026 and July 24, 2026, department personnel conducted 53,276 searches within the Flock ALPR system. It says the department, quote, continues to strengthen its internal policy governing the use of the Flock ALPR system, adding specificity around authorized use and documentation requirements to reinforce accountability going forward. So this afternoon.
Well, I mean, it's like they're staying on top of it with the audit, but what are the police actually doing with it? You know, AP King said other states are probably following Operation Slowdown. Oh, okay. I-90 said, Rain, okay. Thank you for your service. It's more to the Flock story. These are very small statistics, just saying. Inbox me on Instagram and tell me those the more story to the Flock story. Penny said it's been big and sexist, and the crazy part is it started from a private company. We don't like red light cameras, but we need Flock. Come on. And red light camera got me a couple times here over the last years. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, let me there's another there were some other states that came up as well. So let me see. Hold on. Savannah, officer accused. I wanted to News Nation. Let's listen at this one right here. Let's see what it says.
I think they got enough eyes out on all of us, and I think they could just take that down. It wouldn't bother me a bit.
All I'm asking is, let's pump the brakes, because I don't think a lot of people understand data.
None of you can guarantee there won't be a security break.
Flock's cameras make it easier than ever to search for citizens' movements without a warrant.
The biggest concern was who has access to the information, to the data.
Since we first told you about Flock surveillance cameras a few weeks ago, the anti-Flock movement has exploded. Get the Flock out is what it's called. It's exploded all across the country. People are spray painting them, tearing them down, demanding they be removed. Initially, these cameras were sold as crime fighting tools to help police catch kidnappers and track stolen cars. And they do that. Just this morning, police in California were able to catch an alleged kidnapper using Flock cameras to locate the suspect. Happened also in Atlanta last week. Critics argue the real danger isn't just the technology, of course, it's who has access to it. Every time your car passes one of these Flock cameras, it logs your license plate and creates a record of where you've been. That record sticks around for at least 30 days. There are already over 120,000 Flock cameras around the country. But some police officers have begun misusing the technology. Just this week, the Washington Post reported that number is at least 50 and growing. This week in Mooresville, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte, a female officer.
Well, we already saw her, but so I don't know, y'all. Let's see. Maybe he said we need to figure out what company is making them and what they're gonna do if they find us. I-90 West said, I was in Dallas for the Noble Conference, National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. It made the news down here. Did you hear about it? No, I didn't. I looked that up, though, I-90. Penny said, Flock is warrantless surveillance. Penny said, constitutional violations. I-90 said negative at Little Penny. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So much misinformation out there. Ooh. Penny said also flock plus facial recognition equals oppression. AP King said, and that's a lot of license plates that are going to have to be searched. What's your thoughts on the flock system? And I see yours, Penny. And Classic, if you're still in here, I think I know your opinion on it already. But yeah, so there's one more. I think there was one more video I had for the flock system. Let me see.
We've got a really shocking story that involves organ donation. The government is moving.
We're not talking about that, y'all. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on. It was another one. Concerns of a police. Let's see. Block reform. Yeah, North Carolina. Did we listen?
Starting with the breaking news that we have from Mooresville, that officer who is facing criminal charges tonight. More information as we go into this story. I'm Colin Mayfield.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. The chief spoke just hours ago, telling us that Officer Elizabeth Snowman used the agency's flock cameras to track her partner's ex dozens of times.
Go.
Tradisha Woodard is joining us live from Mooresville with the very latest on this case. Tradisha.
That's right, Vanessa. And officials say at least 2 of those times were actually off the clock. They say Elizabeth Snowman was tapping into that system and those cameras to gather information on her boyfriend's ex-wife. The chief of police says this just doesn't look good. He says he's frustrated, he's aggravated because one officer's action is, of course, going to put lots of mistrust into the system. And as you know, when it comes to flock cameras, there's been a lot of concerns expressed throughout the community. So he says, unfortunately, there's an additional 10 other cases that they're also looking into, with at least 3 of those cases already looking very problematic.
If there's anything I've learned in all the years I've been doing this, is you can't protect somebody from themselves. But if we find out somebody's using it for nefarious reasons, they're not going to be here anymore. And listen, I know we're going to take a hit publicly on this. I get it.
And as officials continue to manually comb through that system to find any suspicious activity, they say they're also implementing some changes to prevent situations like this from happening so easily. Of course, we'll have that information for you tonight at 11 o'clock on WCNC Charlotte. As for now, I'm Tradisha Woodard reporting live in Mooresville.
Tradisha, thank you so much. And we should mention this is just the latest controversy over the use of flock cameras and concerns over improper use. You'll remember just last week, a CMPD officer was charged with using the flock system to look up and share an undercover agent's license plate with a drug dealer. He is currently on administrative leave and is expected in court later this month.
Starting with the breaking news that we have from Mooresville, that officer.
So y'all, what I-90, what is your take on since you're a law enforcement officer, what is your take on the flock system and its uses? Oh, there you go. Do I agree with it? It depends. I'm in New York, so every state doesn't have it. People who use it inappropriately, to include the police, need to be held accountable. There's bad people at every job. Okay, I agree. Penny said flock is the equivalent to CCTV overseas. AP King said officers may be going AWOL to find people, just something I came up with. Okay then, AP King, I see you. Yeah, y'all. So this, of course, we just saw that this is not only a Savannah story. Other Georgia departments and all over the nation have faced similar questions about license plate reader misuse. And this isn't just some far off surveillance debate. The cameras are already up. The question is, what rules govern them? To be fair, the departments, there are real reasons why they want this technology: a missing kid, a stolen car, a partial plate from a violent crime scene. Most people will want investigators using every lawful tool available in that moment. So, but we got to flip it as well. What if an officer runs a plate on an ex, just like we saw in North Carolina, a neighbor that they don't like, a journalist covering their department? So that's where it gets uncomfortable, because the database tracking where cars have been is genuinely a powerful thing to have unsupervised access to. So is every search logged? Does a supervisor review them? Does an officer need a case number to run a plate? Does the system flag anything unusual on its own? If police departments want public to accept more of this technology, the public should get more accountability in return and not less. So let's see what other comments we have. I-90 said, just like every police officer isn't a black police officer, but there's been just like every police officer isn't a black police officer. But there's been numerous cases. I suggest otherwise. That's not the totality of the police officers, though it might. I think autocorrect got on you. But I think I understand what you're saying. Penny said too much power for one group or person. There we go. I-90 said, just like there's been numerous cases of unnecessary use of force for police officers, I'm not going to defend that. But it doesn't speak for the totality of the police officers in the United States. And did Trump even sign for flock cameras to be in use? I don't think AB King. I don't think he doesn't have to, because it's probably state and local, because you got federal, you got state, you got local jurisdiction like that. Penny said rules are never static. They are bent and formed to fit narratives. That's why the Supreme Court interprets. Bad. Okay. Oh yeah, I got you. I-90 and laws. The rules and laws are never static. Okay, I got you. Block is not federal. No, is it state or more so local? I-90. I'm not for certain on that. So AP King. So Trump wouldn't have anything to do with the flock questions. Flock cameras. So a chat question: would you support flock cameras in your neighborhood if they help solve crimes? Would you still support them knowing an officer could search your plate without you ever finding out? And should you be able to request a record of every time your own plates have been searched? Technology isn't automatically good or bad. It's a tool. The real question is who's using it and why, and who's holding them accountable when they don't. So that's been Hometown Rain. If y'all are catching this on the rewatch, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I'll talk back